amazing. Very exciting.
What's the running total? How many have we got?
I think 40 waiting. I'm not sure actually how many's watching. I think about 50. And they wanted to see our new 2 faces who's joined us, which we are so excited about. So I'm pretty sure that's why we're breaking records today. And very warm welcome to Sasha and Emily. And of course also to you, Darren and Tom. But I'm very, very excited to see Emily and Sasha has joined us. So yes, welcome.
So just for context, real quick context. So we've got Sasha Bloor, UX designer extraordinaire. As Morton said, really excited to have Sasha on the show. You guys asked for talent and other members of the team, just so it wasn't the echo chamber with myself, Morton, and Darren, the old guard. We do have real talent within our teams. So we've got Sasha, and we've also very pleased to have Emily, producer extraordinaire for Reality Plus and Worlds Apart, and also chief plate spinner is probably just the way to summarize it. You've got myself, unfortunately for some, is the head of branded stationery. We've got Darren, fueler of excitement, fosterer of connections, and the bridge between the R Plus team and the community. No introductions needed, Morton, for your good self.
I'm just filling the gap, I think so. That's how I kind of like present myself, kind of like annoying part who always have an opinion and always ruin your agenda, Tom. That's my role. So
we'll try and stick to it.
Yeah, no, I know. I am trying to behave today, just so you know. Actually, I've got my tea. I'm here, and I'm actually trying to behave. So I'm pretty sure I will stick to your agenda. Can't promise, but I will try.
Well, 4 minutes in and 1 minute 30 if that was a video. So let's crack on with it. So Morton, I will actually hand over to you. You have been dropping some subtle and not so subtle hints about the future of Doctor Who. So why are we gathered here today, sir?
Finally, I would say we're gathered here today because, as you probably know, like you're saying, the last 6 months we've kind of like I've been hinting that not on purpose, I would say, but it was just like randomly dropped, of course, that it was saying that we were moving to mobile, and I know that maybe came to a shock for a lot of people. But we've been working on this actually since the first time I saw the draft for the new one was back in December. I think officially we started around February, moving into this one. So the last 6 months, the team has actually been working on a mobile version for our game. And of course, why are we doing this? Because we were being so much focused on changing an old gameplay. When I started, did a lot of mistakes and plenty of mistakes that then the whole team, when we start hiring them, came in and fixed or tried to fix, tried to rebalance, tried to do and basically correct all the mistakes that we have done as the original team. Then what happened was that BBC made a partnership with Disney Plus, and that also meant that there was a whole different kind of like focus from BBC and also, of course, for Disney Plus, that our show now, the Doctor Who show, will now have a much bigger audience. It will be worldwide. It will be streamed, and suddenly we also could see that our existing gameplay maybe wasn't the right fit for a more kind of like a global audience, and trying to kind of like match that. So of course we said that what is happening. We know that, and that's a fact, right? We know that that suddenly when Disney, the world's biggest entertainment company, if they set their mind to something, then things will happen, right? And especially now where we used to see the old BBC episodes had kind of like a budget of 1 million, 1.5 million per episode. Suddenly it shot up to like 10, 15 million pound per episode. And it kind of like also showed that they were very much committed, and of course we needed to reevaluate together with PPC. Are we still having this kind of like the same product? Should we change focus? Should we be more mobile orientated? Because also we know that everybody's more on mobile. We saw, and that was a fact also with the stats from our own game, that people had issues basically that they had to be on a desktop in order to play, and the whole world is just on mobile right now. So it was a natural step for us to kind of like let's explore a new gameplay and a new way how to basically use mobile instead of desktop, and maybe go a little bit more broader audience than a mid-core, hardcore audience, but without losing the tactical element. So that's maybe the best way how I can kind of like describe why we're here today. And I really don't want to go into a kind of like much more details, but we all know that our focus has always been that we want to make sure that this game is being pushed to as many people as possible, and the biggest audience and the broadest audience that will have an opportunity now to interact with Doctor Who, the amazing lore. And I still feel like, it might not have the biggest audience like we've seen with Star Wars and what we've seen with, what's the other one? Marvel, yeah, sorry. And yeah, I don't like it, right? But but what we can see is that now actually, because a lot of people will now be pushed this amazing universe, which I think Doctor Who has, right? Like all the characters, it's so unique. And it really reminded me a lot like Star Wars, like the depth of it, and the Marvel universe, of course, also, but more like actually the Star Wars universe. And I feel like now that this is now being pushed worldwide, and we now have first-time users who will interact with this one. And that's why we needed to make sure, is our product actually corresponding mostly kind of like to where the audience is today? They are all mobile. Like, they're not on desktop the same way. And our old gameplay was mid-core, hardcore, kind of like gamers, right? And, that is why we are here today, which we're going to show you much more on that one, and why we're doing it and how we've done it and so on. And maybe, give a sneak peek of some pictures and stuff like that. So let's see.
So we talked about this earlier, and Sasha, you had some really good points about kind of game availability and the importance of making it available to everyone.
Yeah, so obviously we've not had a huge amount of time to work on everything so far, but making it available and being literally in your pocket at all times is really important to us as a user experience designer. Obviously, my department and me in particular want to focus on the fact that it is friendly to the players. If you got like 5 minutes while you're walking to work, you can just pop it out, have a game, that kind of thing. So we really wanted to focus on kind of like play game availability and making that experience really something that can be narrowed down and made easier to access for people.
And I think there was also, some of the frustrations with the community, not frustrations, but the awkwardness of trying to orchestrate a game to make sure that there's people available to play, and having to schedule it through Discord, which is great to see when it does happen. But for the kind of casual game or the hyper casual gamer, you sometimes only got one shot at this to give them that dopamine and give them that taste. And if they don't get it, then they will move on. I mean, there is a myriad of different games and things like that. So I think this game availability is a really big plus point of the move to mobile.
Yeah, and a lot of people, it's just like they need to go back and organize and then jump on the desktop, right, in order to play it. And so that is definitely, that's why it's so important that just make it available for people to interact with it when they want, right? And then it's just also, I would say, it's going to be easier for us to push it to a bigger audience now that it's more mobile than actually it's desktop. And we just know that from a fact, right? Everybody can see it, everybody knows it, because it's all about entertainment at the end. And I keep saying it, like the 888 syndrome, right? You have 24 hours a day, 8 hours you sleep, 8 hours you work. Then you have 8 hours left where you or we are competing against everybody else, right? where do you want to spend the remaining 8 hours of your free time and spare time? What platform, what product, what game, whatever you're choosing to do, where are you spending your time? And we need to make sure that we get the biggest opportunity actually to interact with the user. And that's definitely not on desktop, because again, people are tired coming back home from work and so on. So if I can get them to spend, let's just say 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that's really, really a massive kind of like amount of time to spend that you choose to spend on something where we are competing against all the other entertainment, any kind of like that will interest you in the whole world, right? So just imagine that it can be go to the supermarket, but it can also just be watch Netflix. And quite funny, I was at an event where Netflix CEO was speaking, and everybody was asking him, so who's your biggest competitor? And everybody was kind of like, okay, that's Disney Plus, or that's HBO or Amazon. So no, it's Fortnite. Like, that was the biggest competitor, because it's all about entertainment. We need to be entertained. And that's why also you see popular kind of like channels and social media like TikToks, because it's all about being entertained. I need to kill 5 minutes. I'm waiting for the bus. I'm going to Subai, or I'm loading a game and I'm waiting for that. You're just quickly just using your phone, because people are not used to just look out the mirror or look out in the room or whatever it is. They constantly need to be having something in their hands and be entertained. And that's why mobile is a perfect opportunity.
And also, so availability is one of them, but another pro, and I think, Emily, it was something that you raised, was just that richer visual experience of mobile.
Yeah, so I'm a 3D artist at heart, so obviously I'm aware of the previous game, is like the board and everything, and how much I love that. But I'm also aware that mobile games, they don't require that necessarily that level of that depth in the environment. So yeah, basically you can have a much, like you said, a much richer experience on a smaller screen than you necessarily would on a PC. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also another big piece of this is kind of who we're targeting. So this introduces like a whole new audience to Doctor Who and the Doctor Who world. And I don't, and it was again something you raised, Sasha. It's not necessarily about targeting Doctor Who fans. It's targeting the Doctor Who fans and converting those fans into converting the hyper casual gamers into players, and those players into Doctor Who fans, and building that kind of ecosystem, upholding the law.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I absolutely love Doctor Who. I wouldn't say that I'm like the biggest fan ever. Definitely not. I know that my science teacher in high school had like a whole thing going on. His whole classroom was Doctor Who themed. It was insane. But I do really, really love to get right into the lore. And at some stage, personally, I really, really hope to bring some nice little Easter eggs and that kind of thing to the game. So yeah, it's really about not necessarily... we obviously don't want to alienate the Doctor Who fans that we do have, because we really want the Doctor Who aspect to really come to life. But we want that aspect of Doctor Who to bring the people that have played the game just for it being a game, to draw them over and maybe make them try an episode of Doctor Who and kind of really come into the community of Doctor Who, because it is very cool.
And we can see that already with the chat going on, like, so it actually reflects, again, this is an amazing community, right? Because they're all, and I know these are Doctor Who nerds, and I love it, right? Because they're so engaged, and these are exactly kind of like why we are so focused about this amazing lore and making sure that, we follow the law. And again, we also have now, I would say, amazing opportunity. We also had that with the old gameplay, but because we're so kind of like connected with BBC, that we can push these, what's happening in the TV show, we can push that actually in our gameplay, characters and so on, which I'm kind of like, this is where when something is going on like with Disney, right, and especially being streamed, if suddenly that you can see that a character you've just seen in the episode suddenly will also appear in the game, that is where I think we can convert a lot of people who are just saying that, but I just saw that one, so let me just see it, because maybe I saw the abilities, maybe I can do a reference to them or whatever it is. And that's what I'm really super excited about, the new seasons and what's going to happen from November and moving forward, the new Doctor and so on, and especially the new characters that's been revealed that we're going to see. So I'm just super stoked and excited about this. So yeah, it's going to be so good. But maybe we should see.
Yeah, I think we should. And I've just had a note from Darren that apparently I've completely messed up the deck. So Emily, I'm so sorry. So it wasn't. So Morton, 17 minutes in, haven't missed the beat, and I've gone and ruined it. So anyway, without further ado, let's have a look at what is changing. Change is the wrong word, although change is good. What is evolving? What is evolving?
We'll start with with the slide of the overview of the game board. So let's just have a quick look.
Okay, so obviously everyone's going to realise that we are no longer lanes, we are now hexagons, which is a nice big change, but no, an evolution. Hope I agree with that one. So yeah, as you can see, it's much different, but in a good way. I'll go through the specific screens in a second. I have access. I can change the slides. That's quite exciting.
Oh.
Do you want me to change the slides?
Yeah, if you're happy to change the slides while you speak about the different portions of the game board, that's absolutely brilliant.
Okay, so the big difference we've got here is that we've got past and future. So unlike other games we've played, you can basically play your cards on any of those hexagons. You are not limited to any specific space, but by playing them on a specific space, it will change the card's mechanic. So you might have some cards that you play in the future that when the little TARDIS in the middle moves, it will, I don't know, an ability will trigger, for instance. The past and future is quite a big thing going forwards, and it's something that you need to very much pay attention to, because it has a huge impact on how you are going to play the game. Like I said before, cards can be played anywhere on the board. You are not limited to the present, past, or future. Your opponent and your player avatars will be displayed here. They are generic at the moment, but we'll talk about those a little bit later. Same with Artron, similar to how we've done it previously. Your Artron is how you pay for your cards. So you gain Artron per turn, and you get to play however many Artron your card is worth, you get to play it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Whenever you finished your turn, again, straightforward, press the end turn button. There are 6 turns in every game, which are indicated by the little TARDIS icon here. He will move, or it will move, to each of the little spots that you can see in the middle, which will be a slide. The little slots are, I don't actually know if they are referred to anything on here as worlds. No, this is okay. So these little balls here, it will become a little bit clearer later, are world slots. So every world, there are 6 worlds altogether. No, yeah, 6 worlds altogether. The final 5 worlds altogether. The final 2 worlds are a combination of yours and your opponent's, which will be part of your deck. So there are 13 cards in the deck, and one of those cards is a world card, which has an ability attached to it. I'm aware that this sounds complicated. It's not. So
it shows the thought that's got into it. That it's a game designed by gamers, and it's great.
So exactly. So in the similar way that we had lanes before, we've got these world slots now. When you get to a world clash, which I know that some people saw the word clash on one of the little sneak previews that we put in a couple of days ago, this is what it's referring to. So when a world clash happens, you are basically fighting to win the points that are associated with this particular spot. So as you can see, there's the hexagons are highlighted on yours and the opponent's side. So any cards that you play in that spot will win you a spot in the yeah. So if you end up with, I don't know, 10 points in one side, your opponent only has 5, you'll win the 2 points. Yeah, as you can see here, which is displayed nicely with this little thing. So this is an example of one of the world cards. So this is across the whole board as well. Whenever you click on one of the spaces, it will display all the cards' ability, and you get a little inspector screen. So this, yeah, like I said, this is an example of one of 3 different world cards that you can that we've got in a deck. And so, like I said, these would appear towards the last 2. This would be an example of one of the cards that we've got. So if anyone has played this game previously, they will know that all of the abilities have changed. So this particular card would not have had this ability previously. It's quite exciting. All of the green bits are the buffs from other cards, and the red are the debuffs. So that's where it gets a little bit more complicated and where the tactics come into it. So when you're playing, you need to be aware of the past, present, future, and also what your opponent's cards are doing, what your cards are doing. So there will be cards that will affect stuff if you put them next to each other. There will be cards that if you place it in the same box as or same hexagon as your opponent does, it will affect it as well. So the inspector screen gives you all the information about what is happening to that card and why that card has those points values. Like I said before, I think on slide, this is probably the most important screen that you'll have. This is how you win the game. This number determines whether or not you're going to be victorious. And yeah, that's pretty much the quickest overview of the game. And I apologize if I've complicated it for anyone, but yeah.
But it looks
No, it's
amazing.
great. I'm sure. Yeah, the guys will have loads of questions.
But again, I think, especially with this one with the world clashes in between, and I know for a lot of people it looks very much simple, but what I love about this is actually we've now incorporated the past and the future much more. I think it's much more kind of like naturally and much more lore. And also what I love is that it looks like it's a simple game, but it's actually very tactical. And I played it paper prototyping a few times, and I think what I was really super positive around was that no matter if I was kind of like leading in the beginning or actually at the end, I kind of like was behind, I always felt like I had a shot in actually winning. And I never felt safe in winning if I was kind of like ahead, because I knew that my opponent could actually win at the final turn. So it was kind of like that kind of like, what you call it, excitement all the way through, where I feel like with the old gameplay, kind of like if you got like a bad hand to begin with, or you kind of like just like really kind of like a bad draw, I think so, then you're just behind, and then you're just tapping out, and then the opponent is actually just like, okay, now I've just spent maybe a lot of time just like playing a game, and then you're out. Actually with this one, I feel like we can keep the user engaged, and I think that's the most, it's amazing. Like I'm really excited to play this, and I can't wait for us to actually see it live. Like, so yeah.
Well, what should we give it a whirl?
Shouldn't we see it live? I think we should. Like, I would suggest get rid of these static images. I think we should show it live. I think actually we should see how it looks like.
Are we going to break the rules a little bit?
Sorry, Tom.
All going so well.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready?
We are ready.
We're ready. Oh. So,
what is that?
I'm going to go to private match. Sasha, if you would like to use the word that we used for our test matches.
Okay.
What's
so
the
you
word?
can still,
Come on.
Cactus.
Great. I love it.
It was just something random.
I could have gone horribly wrong. I regretted asking that question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a really good example of one of the cards with no ability. So we have, I'm not going to call them filler cards because they do actually hold quite a big part of the mechanics. But yeah, that's one of the, and also the artwork. If you have been a fan of Worlds Apart for quite some time, you will have seen this artwork before. This is the lovely stuff that was created by our art team over the past 12 months.
Yeah, and
I
love it. Love it.
I've got some quite plain cards.
I'm
to
sure
begin
you'll get
with.
some others.
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
The eagle-eyed among you as well will notice that the cards are actually moving. They've been animated, and there's a small parallax effect added on them in the inspected screen as well. And so here's a really good example of one of the world slots. This power is randomly generated. The world is picked basically. The first two worlds are picked. The final two worlds are the players.
So yeah, as you can see, this porcine grunt was 3 base power, but because this world has +2 power to a random character in my hand, it's actually buffed it because the planet Mondaran gives it +2 power.
Yeah.
Good shout.
So that
Now
one
you can
there.
see the hexagons, right? Belonging to that one in the present.
Who's winning out of you two in the overall tally? Darren and Sasha.
Sasha is
winning at the
absolutely
moment.
spanking me. But at the moment, in this match, I'm winning, but I won't be for long. Trust me.
In this match, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Good shout, Sasha, in this one. Enjoy it while it lasts.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that.
But again,
so-
it shows with this one, right? I again, looking at it, right? It just looks amazing, and it's, yeah. Again, I love the artwork in this one, and again, the tactical element, because again, you can play, again in the future, but some of the cards, and depending on the world clashes or the worlds, actually determine like, oh, I shouldn't put it in the present because maybe I'll be get a penalty, or I'll actually being deducted points or whatever it could be. But then suddenly you can also play ahead, and some of your cards could actually, when you reveal them, could actually have a big impact. And also, I think especially when going back in the past, that you could still influence the result at the end simply because you play cards in the past. Suddenly, I just love the tactical element in it, where I feel like it's small, it's quick, but still the tactical element is so good in this one.
Yeah, I
And
think
as
as
you
well.
can-
It's go on, Em.
I was going to say the world slots. I'm just going to explain the color of them. So you can see that you've won 2 world slots, which usually gives you a little bit of an advantage over your opponent if you've won them. And they go blue. If you lose them, they go red. I'm not going to ask you to lose. Just
No, don't worry. It's
You won't
coming.
need to ask him. It's fine.
It's coming.
The bang will come.
It will happen.
So I
It's gonna
know
be really fun if I lose.
Emily, one of the questions from the chat is there any kind of mechanical difference between the top and bottom slots on your side? I think you're muted. Oh, no? I can't hear you.
My headset just died. Can
Oh,
you hear
okay.
me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So technically, yes, because there's some characters in there that if you play a character next to it, so basically if you play a certain card in the in your bottom hexagon, and you happen to play 2 cards next to it, you could buff those 2 cards. So
Like this
currently
one.
I'm not aware of a card that is space specific like in the previous game where if you play it in a certain lane. I'm not aware of that right now, but that doesn't mean to say that there isn't going to be one in the future.
Okay, cool. I can also see Alex Thomas actually joined. Hi, Alex. Has also given explanation in the chat. So thank you for that.
I think it could be Thomas from the team.
Oh, Thomas. Oh, sorry. I actually thought it was Alex Thomas because it was DWA. So I thought that was maybe him joining.
Oh,
Yes, the person who actually designed the card.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's even better.
Estimate.
That's even
Yeah.
better. I actually
Great.
didn't. I wasn't sure that he was. Was expecting a different name from him. Actually.
I don't think I can drag this back.
Oh,
Oh,
first
not
lost
good.
life.
Final turn,
Not had
Sasha.
the best hand
Not
of
good.
cards so far.
so we're seeing our River Song +2 power to other friendly characters in the present. So basically what that means is any of my characters within the blue sections, which are highlighted in the present, will get that buff of +2 power. So this Cyberman should turn to 4 power.
When it enters the present.
Oh, when it enters the present.
Exactly.
Yeah, that mechanic has slipped up a lot of people when we've done like in the internal playtest. The amount of like, no, I thought it was this.
Oh yeah,
because they just-
enter the present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really it's awesome when your opponent messes up. Not so great when it's you.
I know. But I've got a sneaky suspicion that Dalek's going to make his way over now into the present.
I didn't have the right card.
Ah.
Really unlucky with the cards.
So that's something that's I will let out a little Sasha secret now. One of Sasha's tactics is to place that Dalek in the past, and then there is a card that no matter where the TARDIS is on the board, you can place it and it will drag it into the present. So just because it's back here with 8 power doesn't mean that it doesn't affect the present or the future, because there are cards that can move them around as well.
That's
So
especially
with-
one of the Dalek things, right? You know, and that's why I keep
Yeah.
saying that something that you actually play suddenly that will be in the past will actually
Yep.
affect the future.
So
That's
on
it.
that note, can we have a quick look at the decks that on this? Just
So,
a peek at them.
yeah.
So who was using which deck in that?
I think we were both
was-
using the Legion Leader.
Okay, cool.
Oh no, I was using God Emperor, actually. I've just realized.
So this is
Okay,
where we
so
can
that-
see the cards. In
Yeah,
the,
so
in the
here's-
Legion League.
So these are like ready-made decks that we've got just for testing purposes. So we've been using a generic. The world cards are assigned per deck. So there's 3 different world cards, and like I said before, they're the 2 slots at the end that will be randomly assigned. I won't talk over all the abilities because there's a lot of them. But as you can see, there's we've got on reveals, constants, we've got entering present, and obviously the no abilities, which are the no abilities are probably one of my favorites because they're usually the ones that can be affected by other stuff. So
Yeah, so just because they haven't got an ability doesn't mean that they don't have the ability to get you to win, because the other abilities actually can sometimes buff them to a point where they are actually quite competitive cards.
You
Yep.
can actually see on the cyber upgrade on this screen as well that it gives +2 to friendly characters without abilities. So that's
Yeah.
a very good one, because you can put it anywhere. Like if you've just got a spare slot somewhere, and it will buff all of the ones on the board that don't have an ability. So that's really fun to play around with too.
What about the other deck? You want to see the other deck that you were using?
So we've
I
got
was using God Emperor.
God Emperor. Okay.
God Emperor.
cool. So again, similar like all the similar kind of abilities, but depending on the sort of player that you are, these 3 decks will depending on how you like to play the game, you're going to tend to kind of veer towards a particular deck. This one isn't my favorite personally. I think it's the previous one that I usually.
It is a
I
tricky
favoured
one
as
to
well.
play with, to be fair.
Yeah, I think they correct. Well, I'm sure Thomas will correct me in the chat if I'm wrong with this, but they're almost like easy, medium, hard to an extent. I think this one is considered the harder of the 3. However, the middle one, I'll talk about in a second. the Tyrannosaurus deck. The Tyrannosaurus card is notorious for getting the most points on a card or power on a card. It can go crazy, and I think they've been rebalanced since, but this particular deck was the one that achieved the record. I think it was 50 plus,
Wow.
which obviously the one with the match we've just seen was 22. So it was
When I've played with this one, I've actually managed to get the T-Rex and then the Dark Water Coffin. So I actually had 2 T-Rexes that were on the board at the same time, and yeah, it gets crazy.
But yeah, it's just amazing. Really good.
Can we just have a quick look at the quick match, please?
Yeah.
Just
So
and,
if
and
I-
it would be good to, or quick play, sorry. It'd be good to just get you to explain what this is.
Yeah, I'm happy to explain it. So if you want a quick play and nobody happens to be playing, the game will automatically match you into a practice mode with the Proteon unit, as it is currently called. This is basically just a way that you can play it without having to need another player. It has all the same functionality. The only difference is that it's not a human that you're playing. And it's not actually that easy to beat. I've been beaten by it quite a few times. It's quite well balanced at the moment. I'm impressed with it. But yeah, if you want to practice, so say you want to have a go at the Tyrannosaurus pack, but you don't feel comfortable enough doing it with a person, you can play with the practice mode.
So, Darren, are you going to give it? You're going to take it on?
I am, and I'm probably going to get made to look stupid because it is actually sometimes it's very incredibly difficult to beat. But we shall see. Only
Got a
time
good
will
start.
tell.
You got a good start.
Excuse the pun.
I can't hear your audio, by the way, Darren, if you are supposed to be streaming the audio of it too.
The audio on the game?
Mm-hmm.
It should be.
I can't hear
It
it.
should be streaming. It's strange. Let me. Oh, that's weird. We had it. We had it streaming earlier.
We did. Which is unfortunate because there is some lovely music in the background.
True.
There is. That's unusual.
Who's going to win it? Who's going to win it? Darren.
So I'm going to lose that card. There we go. So this is what makes it interesting for me. The present, when it moves to the second world, it goes in an X pattern rather than straight across.
Yeah.
Which changes the dynamic a little bit because you can use any cards within those hexagons that are highlighted. So to go towards your power.
Yeah, if you want to win that world, right?
Yeah. There we go.
Something I really like about it is that you don't always have to win the first few worlds if you want to win. So it's not like the be all and end all. If you lose the first couple of worlds, you can usually bring it back pretty well.
Yeah,
so, Sasha,
that
when you
last
lost to Darren, sorry.
No, I was going to say it's that last turn. You can't predict
Yeah.
anything.
The
until
last
right at
turn
end.
is
It's
very
like,
big.
oh, it's gone.
So, Sasha, were you holding out on a particular card being pulled for you to?
I
then-
was hoping so, yeah. But
Okay.
I did still draw. So the fact that
You
I
did
was playing around a whole tactic that didn't work out and still managed to come out even is pretty cool.
Well, okay. So after this one, after this quick play, I think it's only fair if you two have a death match.
Oh, God.
Winner takes all.
Okay.
I mean, overall, we're like 5-1 at the moment, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
So
let's hope I don't embarrass myself and just have the second defeat. I might cry.
So this one, obviously, I've placed it, but on this one, -2 power to
Exactly.
reveal characters in the present this turn. So he'll drop to 1, but he's buffed the 2 either side, so it kind of counteracts it.
Maybe before we have our death match, going back into the settings and seeing whether the audio can be fixed might be a good idea.
Yeah, I think I might have to just turn the master audio up a little bit.
Yeah.
So +2 to friendly characters in the present. So obviously where he's lost 2 before from this world card's ability. That's the moving into the present again, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're not gonna do that again. So +2 power to adjacent characters. So we can add that to there. This should become 3. This should become 5.
I'm not going to say it with all my confidence, but I do think if you play River Song in the present, it counts as being entering the present when she's put down. But I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. 32-21, not a bad match.
Yeah,
That was good.
It's that last turn.
So let me just master volume. Can you hear that now?
No, you might have to
No.
restart the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just restart it. It was streaming absolutely fine earlier on, and as usual,
I think, Emily,
the
you were
curse.
saying that you guys have really enjoyed the backwards and forwards and actually playing this on a daily basis.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been at one point we were doing daily play tests with the studio team, and it's been so competitive. Like, you start off thinking that, oh, it's just this, it's not going to be that bad, and then it gets to the point. So our head of production, for instance, was unbeaten for a very long time, and it became quite difficult. Not difficult, but you want to win. Like, we're all competitive by nature, I guess. We're all working in games, so. But yeah, with your colleagues, probably not that helpful.
That makes sense. For suddenly, I was getting kind of like a buying order for like 5 new screens and some keyboards and stuff like that. That makes much more sense now. No, but honestly, I know that you guys have played it. Every single day, daily stand up. You've been playing it, and again, what I love about this is that this has been created by the team. Like, the amazing team that we have has developed this. Right? It's not kind of like come from above and kind of like leadership saying that, oh, this could be an idea. This idea actually fostered from the team itself, and everybody has really kind of like been a massive part and engaging part of this. And I just love to see how you've all embraced it, and that makes me proud as seeing that this is not everybody's taking pride in it, right? Kind of like, I want to be a part of it and really being engaged. So yeah, I've always enjoyed these matches.
Do we have audio now?
No.
Still no game audio.
No.
Maybe try sharing the screen again.
I mean, one thing I can try is, but I think it's going to echo. I think it's going to echo through all of our voice chat as well. Is sharing system audio.
Oof.
It might not end well. Here we go. How's that?
It's not the greatest quality. Oh no!
Oh no! Right.
Okay.
There is audio.
Yeah, but too much audio. Right. So
come on, deathmatch.
Yeah. No, but I think let's have a quick match. But I think we also need to switch to kind of like, how do we get people involved? Because I can see the chat is kind of like, when can we play it? All these kind of things. And we're going to reveal that straight after this match, when you can actually play this. And let's see who's going to win this one.
This is for the cake, this one.
It's going to be, I'm live bets. I'm taking bets right now, so it's okay. Just
go on. Who do you reckon? Morton?
I reckon that everybody's taken by surprise right now. Let me just see the start of this. I think with the start that Darren has got, I think he's gonna win.
Oof, big one.
Ooh.
Right, I'll
But
go
I know,
Team
I know,
Sasha
I
then.
know, sneaky Sasha. She's gonna be, yeah. I just know it. So
If she gets
definitely-
the right cards, she's got me cornered.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's a good start that you have, Darren. It's a good, strong one to start with. You know, I'm cheering for you. First of all, they break our records because we have the most viewers on our stream for the first time. So definitely we need to have you two back again. So also you need to play it kind of like tactical, Darren, because we want them to come back. So don't beat Sasha because then you will
Oh, I'd be coming back for revenge if he beats me.
True. Oh, Darren's taking this seriously.
Yeah. Ooh. Sneaky. I knew it.
The silent
Oh,
concentration.
Oh, I knew
It's
it.
Sasha
good
the
try at
silent
guessing what I was gonna
assassin.
play.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're scared now.
I am
Yeah,
shaking.
Unfortunately, I misplayed it and I didn't play it next to anything. So that was kind of dumb.
Oh, another thing I forgot to mention earlier: whoever's winning power-wise, you'd go. Your cards are revealed first.
Okay.
Oh,
So it's not a case. So the first turn is random, but going forward, if you're losing, it's almost like a rubber band, like in Mario Kart. You need to try and get yourself back to having more points. Yeah. So yeah, no pressure, Darren.
Thanks. Sasha can also see what
You're
cards
using a
I'm
lot
holding.
of them.
True.
I'm not looking,
yeah, exactly.
I promise.
Exactly, Darren. She's watching the stream. I know it.
She's stream sniping me. I can feel it. Da, 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 da.
Oof.
Oh, this is not working.
No.
I'm done for this round.
So if you can put it back in the last turn.
No. I don't think so. Not with the cards I've got. Hmm.
See how many
Yeah,
points
that
you
wouldn't-
get. See how many points you get for the last.
Koshamas.
Yeah.
Koshamas would not be a good card to play there.
No.
No, definitely not.
Should have taken the Cyberman. I think so. Darren.
Yeah, I don't think I can accumulate enough points now to win, but
No, but still, and then in the past, play that one because you still get 6 points if you're winning the world. So if you were lucky, then minimize the defeat, Darren. That was
yeah, I'll just click this button up here before it happens. Quite literally minimize it.
Oh, Sasha's
Yeah,
doing everything.
I
at
knew
it.
he was coming forward.
oof, oof, oof.
Yeah, I
She's
didn't
not gonna
buff
be
him,
happy.
though. I messed up.
No. Yeah.
Oh, that's just rude. I still win the World Clash. It's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got it.
Otherwise,
It's fine.
well, otherwise, actually, it could have been a tie because. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Oh,
brutal.
not good, Darren. Oh.
oh, I'm hurting. I
But
feel
again,
it.
you know, but well done, Darren, because now she's coming back. So really good.
Yes. Your plan worked, Darren. Your plan worked.
That's
Plan
it.
work. But I think, again, like I know that I can see the chat, right? So, let's maybe reveal what is the next kind of plan. How do we get community involved and where do we take it from here? Because again, as you know, that this is now live, and how we're gonna reveal that. And maybe we're missing a nice screen. I think so. This one. So actually, already now, which I know, yeah, kind of people already know because they've seen it. It's now live on PTR for Founders Token holders from tonight, actually now until tomorrow, and then tomorrow the general public will have access to it also until the 15th, meaning that everybody will be able to play tomorrow. Right now, the Founders Token is just getting 24-hour access, and then boom, 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 the big tournament on the 11th of August. Darren, maybe you want to give some comments with that one. I think you're organizing and being.
Yeah, so that'll be very, 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 very quick. It's going to be 4 days, but obviously, as you can see from the gameplay, that the game flow is a lot faster per match, so it shouldn't take as long as previous tournaments. I'm also once the technical test has come out, people have played it. I'm going to be sending around a feedback form as well, in the form of a Google form where you can give us your valued feedback, any suggestions for the team, anything you did like, things you didn't like, things you would change if you had the opportunity.
Yeah, and again, I'm just saying that I'm. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, just real quickly, just on the tournament. It's a community-run tournament. They always are, and the community do a hell of a job putting it together and managing it. And so, shout out to those guys.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to join for the first time in one of the tournaments.
Ooh,
yeah.
Boosh. Shout.
So it might be super, super positive or very embarrassing. So I'm not sure, but I'm gonna put my neck out there and just like I'm looking forward to it, and I'm gonna beat all you guys in the community.
Oof.
Wow.
I saw how badly you did on the first few prototypes.
Sasha,
Do you know the first prototype
I was
played?
testing how I would react if I lost the match. Like actually, my blood didn't boil, no nothing. I was actually kind of like it was still fun. So it was all a test, Sasha. So don't need to mention it. I don't think we have a recording
where
of it.
those monitors went.
Yeah.
The progress that this has made is absolutely insane, because the actual alpha pre-alpha test that I did was played from a spreadsheet on a UX draft, and the team behind it were actually moving PNG files into hexagons for us while we played it.
Yeah,
that's how early it was.
But it was
and
fun.
It was still fun, yeah.
And that was last week. No, I'm kidding.
And I can see now Ian is saying teams should be excluded. No, this is my chance for actually winning a match. Like, I need to have an advantage, so I'm definitely joining. No, but it's gonna be so good, and I'm very happy to see this. And again, kudos to the team behind it. You've done an amazing job, and I can't wait now for the community to get their hands on it and give us feedback, and kind of like, because this is again very exciting. We know what's lying ahead of us. We know with the Disney Plus, we know with BBC, a big kind of like massive investment from all sides. And I'm just happy to see that now we've created something that I feel is so engaging and fun to play. And I'm kind of like, I always have so many games that I played, and I always kind of like have a few that I come back to. Not because we've developed this one, but this is one of the few games. Yeah, I know it. Like they're all looking forward to it, right? But this is one of the few games where I catch myself kind of like just hitting that app because I'm actually, I just want to play a game. Like that feeling when you're kind of like, and it could be anything from TikTok, Clash of Clans, and Marvel Snap, and all these other kind of like games that's out there. And it's not because that it's us creating it, but I actually feel like this is fun and tactical. And I feel like, again, like constantly have that tactical, and especially that I know now that I don't think we have. Are we going to show the roadmap, Tom?
Yeah,
cool. Because I think one of the things is like, how's this roadmap going to look like? And yeah, here it is, right? So just from as you can see, the tech launch we have done right now here, we have the new game board, we have the new card abilities, updated card UI, and then our soft launch is planned for Q4, where we'll have a basic economy, we'll have a deck builder, theme quest, emotes, and avatars. And then the global launch, which is more in line, soft launch is more in line with the 16th anniversary in November. There's going to be kind of like a big shout out around that one. But then, of course, in the global launch, which we're focusing on, because that's where it really starts, that's in, I would say, April, where the new season starts, right? And that's where you will have season pass, live events, and of course, crossplay, because this is not just mobile. It's also that we can crossplay, that you could be on desktop, you could be on mobile, and also, I'm not sure 100%, but I know that we can look into consoles also, but I'm not sure what the exact plan, because I don't think we have committed to that yet, but it's definitely something that it's easier to do crossplay now than it used to be in the past, right? So definitely that's our technical director, who is currently a well-deserved holiday right now. So I'm not gonna say too much, but you know, it's gonna be interesting, and we can just see it's already now some amazing progress. So this is how it looks right now, and like I said, this is the things we're also gonna update on the website when it comes and stuff like that. But that's Tom's job to announce that.
Yeah,
and make
I'm
sure
happy to go over a few more bits on this as well.
Yes, please do.
From a
Please do, Emily.
production perspective. So like I said before, with our daily playtests, we have been writing this list based on our own feedback. So we as players, users, we're playing this game constantly. So the next big thing is deck builder, because as you've seen, we've got 3 decks that we've been playing as a team. And now is that point that we want to go and try and create the best deck that's ever been created. So the soft launch stuff that we've put in are things that the team feel that they would really like. But as you can see, for global launch, user feedback is all of you. It's not us. This is we've played it, we've given our feedback. We now need to hear your feedback on it. So it's super important that if there's anything that you think would make it better, let us know, and we'll do our best to look into it. Because yeah, if you're playing it, you'll get the same sense that we have. And yeah, deck builder is just even changing your worlds is very exciting thought. Like yeah.
And that's again the tactical element, right? You know, once you get,
Yeah.
I think right now we have these predefined decks that is in, but even with these predefined decks, there's a lot of tactical changes, and again with the card abilities. And once we have the deck builder ready, you know, it's gonna be amazing. I know there's a lot of comments around what it's gonna be with the UO cards and how it's gonna be with the TLV cards, and we're gonna announce that very soon, because I don't want to sit here in the stream saying something that isn't 100% kind of like a lockdown yet. But of course, there is a whole plan for how we're going to integrate the UO cards and the TLV cards in this one. I think you already have, I think you can reveal what cards is coming from, I think November, right? I think we have planned the 3 cards.
Yeah, so like people have asked about previous cards that they've paid for. Our design team are continually trying to update the cards. We have to now rebalance some new abilities. It's not as easy as us just throwing a whole set of new cards in the game. There's loads of other elements that come into it. So we are working on it. And like Morten said, soft launch will be able to say, give you a time estimate on when to expect them in by.
Yeah. And in batches, right? And in batches.
Yeah.
Like, again, it will come in to start with in PTR, of course, and then needs to be proper balance and proper check before we can actually release them more in different kind of like release cycles and batches.
Yeah, and this won't be the only time that we're giving the build out to people as well. Like, we are planning, this is going to become a PTR is going to come alive again. I think that's a big thing that we need to be focusing on. That it's not going to be a case of give you this build and then we don't give you anything else until we release next year. There will be others. We can't give you the dates of those, but just know they are coming at some point. But
again, I think very important, because I know it was raised like the PTR, because we haven't supported the old one in a long time, right? Because we have been focusing so much on this one, and I know there was some miscommunication around that one, but this one is now on PTR and will be live, and then of course there will be pushed updates and stuff like that. But that's we are already now, and we have improved the communication internally also around kind of like dev updates and all these kind of things. I know Tom is working and Darren is working very closely with production and marketing. You know, everybody's working together now, so making sure that we are learning from our past mistakes and making sure we update the communities, what's actually happening and how it's going to go. But maybe Tom, you could put some more words to it, because it is in a really good state, I think so right now, how we're working as a team.
It's getting better. 100% getting better, and it is still frustrating. There was a slip in the community where we didn't communicate something, and we kind of kick ourselves, and we do need to draw a line under it. And every day is sort of day zero, continuous improvement. But the good thing about it is everybody from who we sort of segue into production through studio and stuff, everyone's really up for it and really sort of proud of what they do. It's just finding new ways of working. So getting loads better, and it's only going to benefit the community because there'll be more timely, thorough updates that the guys are going to get.
Yeah. Just a quick, because I know there's a question which I think is very important to answer. Is this the final redesign of the game? As the core mechanics, yes. Core gameplay, absolutely. Like we are very, very happy where we are right now, and you know it's that's not going to change. And again, everybody who's played it all around the table is really, really kind of like very excited around how this is actually working, and especially the layout, everything, and how you interact with it. So yes, it will be the final redesign of the game.
We'll go through some of the other questions that we've
Yes.
starred.
Yeah,
cool. So Ian, good to hear from you, sir. Does this work on mobile already, or will it be desktop only for now?
I can say that it's working on mobile already now, but it's only going to be available for desktop as it is right now, because as you all know, we need to be compliant with a lot of things, and just going through the process of being kind of like being approved for apps and stuff like that, it's taking a long time. That's why we're not promising when are we going to issue on mobile. We just know that it is working on mobile right now, but there's a whole which I not even kind of like fully updated on, kind of like what is the plan and when are we actually ready. And nobody right now can commit to anything, because as you know, it's mobile is very, very tricky, and even going through the process, because again, this is still blockchain, Web3, all these kind of things. And I know we revealed it on the last stream, my views on a certain company, and of course we need to. I'm not saying anything, Tom. Don't worry. But I think it's very, very important that we are trying to be compliant and making sure that we follow all the guidelines and all these kind of things. And then if we can't do that, then it's a whole different decision, right? But right now we are going and we're taking the approval steps and so on. So yes, internal testing is working on mobile already and crossplay, but there's a long way still to it's working to actually publish something.
Yeah. So this is a big one. You might hate me for it. Will this replaces a game? Is that right? Is it going to be no more? And I presume by no more it means the existing version, which is still available on the live version, I might add. It's just the mobile game on PTR.
It's on the PTR that we have now, the new gameplay. And at some point, we're going to, of course, communicate when should we switch off the live old gameplay, because that can also confuse new users coming in and so on. And of course, that's a marketing and a production kind of like agreement that we will work on. And also because it's tied into, we still going to do the big airdrop, like I said in the last stream, for the founders token holders, and we're going to burn some of the UO packs and so on. So there's a lot going on from now and actually moving forward that still needs the live gameplay and the old version to maybe a couple of months. But of course, it's going to switch before the 60th anniversary. That's what I can promise.
So good question here. Are we allowed to stream the game on Twitch? Now, I presume it means while it's live. I'm going to say a big yes to that.
Stream away. Stream away.
Stream away.
I'll definitely be streaming.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And Darren,
Yeah.
you and I were going to do some streams as well. It's going to be you educating me on how to play the game. But yeah,
Well, I don't know how well
That's
that's
not
going
going
to
to go very well.
No. I'll get Sasha to educate me on the game first, and then I will educate you. We'll pass it down the
Remembering
line.
my secrets.
Stream away is the answer to that. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
And the more feedback we get, the better. The good, the bad, and particularly the ugly. We do want to hear from you. There was this question: what's the plan to include all of the 267 cards a lot of us have invested in?
Yeah, that's the whole plan. Like we said, the UO cards, the TLV. The TLV is now playable in the live version, and that's what Emily's saying, that rebalancing card abilities, making sure that that now fits into the new gameplay, of course. And that's what we're going to announce, that whole roadmap for it. And they're already on it. So, yeah. But it needs to be in batches because, again, like Emily was saying, it's not easy to balance a game like that. So even just adding 25 cards into it changes a lot of things. That's why they will go into a process with coming on PTR, making sure they are on a PTR in a while, or kind of like for a certain amount of time until we feel like they are proper balance in order to being released in the live versions. And then for the UO cards, it's going to be the same like with the TLV. There's going to be a replacement, exactly like you will now have a copy, or you'll get a new version of it that is playable, and then you still have the legacy ones. And we will still come back with a plan for the legacy ones, but that's a bigger one because it involves a lot of economy behind the scenes and tokenomics and stuff like that. So that's a much bigger one, and I can't put any kind of like timeline on this one. I just know that the team is working very much on card designs right now and the card artwork and making sure that whole roadmap is happening. And I think
Darren, was there any others, mate?
There is just one more slide, just for the people that are obviously new to the game client, and it was just how to access the PTR.
Yeah.
So basically, when you download your game client, it will look much like this. Apart from there will be a play button above or a download button, and the way to get to the PTR is just to click on the drop-down box and click on Public Test Realm, and then the button should change to either download, install, or update, depending on your current install situation.
Yeah.
Once that's finished, you'll have access to it.
But for now, founder token holders until tomorrow, and then general public access from tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Tomorrow at 7.
7.
Yeah.
7
7,
PM tomorrow.
sorry, yeah.
And we'll send email notifications. Obviously, the place to get all of the latest information is on the Discord.
Yes.
Link at the bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be sending notifications out. And we're always on hand, Darren and I, and the moderators and community. If anybody's having issues with it, then everyone's happy to help. But really exciting.
Always. And hopefully we can get Emily and Sasha coming back to this lovely stream. Really enjoyed it.
As long as I
Been
keep
fun.
beating Darren, it's fun.
Yeah. We're going to promise you that, Sasha. Every time you join, you're allowed to beat Darren. In game.
Whoa.
In game.
Whoa.
In game. Just saying. Disclaimer.
We talked about this more.
Yeah, no. I was quickly to put a disclaimer. I meant in game, of course, right?
You can't keep making staff fight each other for bets, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Superb.
Yeah.
Should
But I
should we
hope
close
we've.
off?
Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure we've kind of like answered most of the questions. So if there's anything that we're seeing that, but I think it's most of it. Otherwise, like Darren was saying, kind of like, and again, just join the Discord if you're not part of it. Amazing community. Always kind of like they will help. Again, from everything from our moderators to our amazing community members, they always are eager to give you a hand or help you kind of like answer questions if you're new to it. But please, like, if you're not part of it, you're missing out, because it is truly amazing. And any kind of question, of course, from anyone, just pass them through. We are making sure to collect them. I know Darren is on it, and yeah, we'll make sure to come back to you guys. So yes, I agree. Completely agree. I feel like that a little bit sometimes with that movie. What's it called? Grumpy Old Men. I think so. They roll the map out. They kind of like the old one, where kind of like that used to be our stream, right? And now we've got amazing kind of like new people joining us. So yeah. So now we can actually retire, and then you can take over. So really good.
We're passing the baton.
Exactly. There you go.
I'm sure I agreed to that one.
You're in now.
Yeah, that was the term and conditions. You know that, like the little small tick box that you click, right? So,
Small print.
We now own your soul, and you're obligated to come back the next 700 times. Yes.
Book a holiday on the same day. I'm kidding.
Yeah. But yes, we will come back with a lot of things, and just one thing. Yes, there will come some more details on the airdrop. Me and Tom are discussing it right now with marketing and planning, because it also involves, of course, website and a lot of people. So it's not just me saying that, oh, let's just do it now. Sometimes it is, but then I get beaten, because why have you done this again, Morten? And that's why we need to plan it, because it's a big one. So there will be some more information very shortly on this one. I know Tom and I have it on our top of our agenda on these ones. So yeah. But I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope that everybody, because I know that a lot of people were just expecting, oh my God, now these guys are just changing it once again, and we're just seeing something and then we have to wait half a year. No, absolutely not. You'll be able to play already now. You'll be able to play tomorrow for the general public, and we can't wait to give you kind of like this new game, and just for the new season coming out, and of course what's going to happen with the 60th anniversary. So kudos to everybody. Thank you very much to the community to continuously kind of like support us being here, holding on, but also to the amazing team who's actually delivered this game. I'm so proud of what everybody who's been involved in this one. It is truly amazing, and I can't wait to see the future. And I know that BBC is also very much excited for this internally. So yeah, it's spot on with law and stuff. So well done, everybody. That was me. Tom. It's
great.
And Darren.
Yeah,
it was not even in the agenda.
No, I was
kind of like it's like
No, it wasn't. But it was very good.
Yeah. And I behaved, Tom. I behaved. You need to. Yeah, I'm missing that acknowledgement. Like, I actually behaved today.
Your reward will come. Yeah.
Oh.
No, thanks, Morten. And
for the first time, for the first time ever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, that's the big thing. Big star, Sasha and Emily. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah.
I hope we didn't scare you too much.
No, it's been good. I've enjoyed it. Less scary than I thought it was going to be. Not going to lie.
Yeah. No, not true. And the community loves you. I can see all the hearts already in the chat. We didn't get so many hearts, so I'm just saying. So
there's still time yet.
I'm very offended now. No, but thank you very much, everybody. Like, truly amazing. And again, community chat, we will see you in our lovely Discord community. And I can see Thomas is already. Come and join us, the community Discord, for some chill talk and games. So there you go. The team is here and ready to talk. So have a great evening, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Awesome. Take care, everyone.